back to the city and always have to get involved in all sorts of things. I don't seem to be what I am in my city. I know it's different experiences.
Yeah, you have to speak a bit louder. But everybody understood? No. Maybe nice because everybody's experience.
When I go back to the city and my family and my work and life there, what I experience is different. I don't seem to be the same as I experience when I'm sitting in satsang, even though intellectually I know it's not different, but I don't experience it as the same.
Yeah, because you sit in satsang, and then after you get up from satsang to go somewhere, so what is sitting, what is getting up? What is sitting?
Not believing the thoughts.
No. What is sitting? Why you say I sit in satsang? What is sitting? It's your body. Your body is sitting. And along with this body, an attitude of mind. And you say then when you get up, when you go to activities, to city, another attitude of mind follows that. So actually, you believe in experiences. Experiences go on changing and they belong to body and mind. Now, to whom belongs this body and mind? To whom belongs this body and mind? You don't know about what you speak about. Awareness, you don't even know what it is. So don't use words you don't know. So, to whom belongs this body and mind?
I don't know if it belongs to it. I just experience.
I experience it. So to I. It belongs to I. Yeah? Okay. Now, if you say I, do you see a difference between the thing of telling body, mind, I? Why do you think you can describe these different shapes? You must be separated from them to be able to describe them, isn't it? So, I is also a description of something. So now remove or go and see those descriptions are undergoing changes, isn't it? Yes,
the descriptions, yeah. Because I describe myself in the city in satsang, and I describe myself as being in the city.
Yeah, and even this I, it may not change shape, but it's not always there. When you sleep, you don't say I sleep. You say I sleep when you wake up. So I mean, these go and come, the three of them go and come, or change shape. Whatever changes has a nature of unreality, non-existence by itself. You are not that. So drop, just for a moment, drop descriptions. So you said, I experience something. All this sentence is a description of something, okay? So don't hook at this sentence now, at all, for a while. What's left? You cannot bring back I. What's left?
Just what's here.
Just what's here. And in this here, do you refer to any space or time? You cannot. You cannot. So this here doesn't belong to the body, nor to the mind, nor to I. That's you really you. Be here. As you always have been. Whatever your body and mind does, he will sit. He will feel, the mind will feel quiet because it is satsang, it is supposed to give peace of mind. You get up, you go to the city, your mind will be a bit troubled because it is supposed to be full of activities. But then what? These are descriptions. Descriptions are of an unreal nature. Now you know who you are. Or better, you realize you are who you are. Don't mistake anymore.
I keep mistaking.
Well, you went back to the past. Don't hook yourself with any past. Live from here. No, you cannot mistake whatever will happen to this body and mind. You know it's not you. You may have a feeling it's you. That's different. It's a feeling. It's not you. Who you are is not to be felt. It's not to be figured out. It's just to live as it is. You are it, that's all.
I feel I'm still grasping in something. So,
Okay, it's a feeling. Feeling. Don't trouble your feeling. You are not feeling. Don't try to fit your feelings and experience to a certain kind of how one, when he is really himself, has to look like and be. You will always miss, always, you will be so much away from yourself. Who you are cannot fit any projection, objectification of your mind, image. You cannot figure out because you are it. To figure out comes afterwards. It's a movement of mind. And any single movement of mind brings you cycles of birth and death and totally suffering, and on top of it, it's an illusory suffering. So just be wise. Let this talk of the mind have no power on you. Once you realize anything which is suggested by the mind is of no value because it has no existence on its own. I don't know if I'm clear about that, but everything will look like going on the same, feeling, experiences, sitting, going. All this will continue, you see. But the demystification of its reality has been realized.
So, when the mind, when so
When what?
when no when activities in the relative world have to happen.
You're very
Because
careful now with your words.
Functioning of human life. Help me a little bit.
No, I like to hear.
So if one remains
Why do you laugh? What? No, it's interesting. Why do you laugh?
because it sounds so ridiculous.
Ah. And why is it ridiculous? What have you found that you can say it's ridiculous?
I think it's like this little trick that is happening.
So you know that you are tricked
Yeah.
by your mind.
Yes, and I'm just
You
come that
It is ridiculous because somehow you try to care of something which is not real and you know it. So why you give importance to your questions or to your so-called worry or you wanting to be confirmed of something? Not necessary.
Yes, sir.
Not necessary.
Okay, so leave alone. When the question comes up, not to follow.
Not to follow, not because you obey any instruction, but because you see, you really deeply see that the nature of question is a movement of mind, and any movement is unreal because it comes and goes. So just be concerned with yourself. It was a great step. And my language is not good. That was a great no step. So be here. This only is really you. Be yourself. Nowhere to go. Nowhere to go.
Mira, what's the best way to be with you?
Please.
What's the best way to be with you? Sometimes
What's the what?
best way
The best way.
to be with you. Sometimes I sit and thoughts come and I let them go again because it's quiet.
Yeah.
The thoughts are
You know, I would change the question. If you at all you want to ask a question, you should ask, what's the best way to be with myself? No point to be with me. I go and come. I go and come. And you see, if you see me as someone, it means you assume you are also someone. And the question in satsang is to question, am I someone? Forget about others. Go to the root. If I don't look at the question, is there anyone? Yourself. If you don't look at the question you put,
then there's nothing there much.
it's a better answer afterwards. To be here, don't think that your mind will bring ever a helpful about this. Because you already are, you see. You have not to become something. You already are. You cover, you may look like covering yourself with those beliefs. So once for all, here, that these are beliefs, why should you be tyrannized by those beliefs? Be yourself. You are meditating?
I'm drifting off, actually.
What?
I was drifting off. I felt like peace.
Distracted? And now?
Now I'm feeling embarrassed.
No. Any moment is good. No special. You see the tyranny of the mind. You feel distracted. You are not lost because your mind is distracted, in fact. And then after, this mind suggests you, oh, must be a bit shameful because I'm distracted and in satsang I should not be distracted. You see what mind brings you hell. One thing, only little thing, a second thing, and myriads of things. It's amazing. Why should we be tyrannized, what are you saying in English?
Yeah.
Tyrannized by the mind? Why?
Is there a plug?
No, not that. Otherwise you have an image that if you are free from the mind, free from this tyranny, the mind will be flat. It will be the same. But then you know, you have seen deeply, you have totally seen that it's just a play. You are not that play. Play may go on in you. That's different. Plug is based on a concept. Don't have any concept, don't keep any concept. It gives you tricky tricks. You see, when you identify with the mind, you always want peace because you get tired with its activity. So for the mind, the ideal, it can suggest is peace of mind, quiet. When you just drop the belief that this is real, you have no preference if the mind is quiet or active. You don't get fatigued by the mind because you know mind can play any states. You are not any state.
So to say, to become the witness or the observer, is that still a concept?
Yes. And now you have to see by yourself. If you don't hook on any object of observation, is there any observer? Just see.
Not a specific point of observer, it's the essence. It's another concept. Not a specific point.
Yeah.
No. So I've got this concept that the isness is the observer, just the isness of everything.
Observing what?
Observing the play of mind and emotion.
That you do since you are born, to observe. So live this reality, this beingness alone. You don't need to put on an observer on it. Just let it be free and don't figure out what it is. To figure out anything about what's real gives a concept. Just be. That's real quietness of the mind, you see. To really realize that you have not to hook on any figuration, image that the mind suggests.
I find the mind very absurd and ridiculous. Catching that movement or seeing that movement in myself has given me a lot of pleasure. The absurdity of it sometimes. I suppose in probably the last year I've had a lot of fun seeing that. And maybe a question is like how much identification there is with that. It seems like that there's some distance from the eye or seeing that arise or seeing the movement of the mind in that way, and when it's caught, whether it's I suppose especially
when there's, like, it feels like a heat or a movement to do with, say, something that's negative, I can kind of feel it like a heat, that there's something that I know that what's coming, I just don't need to go with. And there are times when I just laugh at myself.
Yeah, but you see, all this is happening to I. You laugh and then sometimes all the movement you say. Okay, so you observe well that the I can take any shape, any experience. So now question the I. From where this I comes from.
Oh, from nowhere.
Then be there. Be there. And don't worry about this eye with black or white, hot or cold.
I'm finding that's where the amusement arises.
It's a bit fun. Sometimes you can see fun. But even that is too much, you see. Too much is going on. The pleasure doesn't derive from this fun. Just be prior to any pleasure you can derive from any observation.
Could you repeat that? Be prior?
What
Be prior to any pleasure you can
derive from
amusement.
Any observation.
observation.
I have down up. My mind is saying, ask a question, anything will do. I just want your attention. You know.
But you got my attention.
Yes, well, what I'm feeling is just so much love comes up for you. And I had the same with Papa. Just so much love.
Yeah, so much love comes from who you are. That's the expression of who you are.
Yes.
So you don't need to give any object to it. Or if you do know that the object of your love will go on changing, what's important is to be from where this love arises.